arts, entertainment, food, fashion, and fun. Now, here's Natalie Hendrix with the Southern Scene.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Southern Scene.
No, you're not imagining things. Natalie Hendrix is taking some well-deserved time off.
I'm Tim Leary from Bob 106.9.
And I'm Karen Daiss. You probably know me as Red on the Morning Showgram. And we're sitting in for Natalie today. Now, if you've never seen us before, because we're on the radio, don't let Tim's colorful mohawk throw you for a loop.
Ta-da,
yep,
it's real.
The color is crazy, and there have been a lot of them, but they're all for a really good cause.
Check this out. This is your life. Started back 2 years ago when I was doing a breast cancer campaign called Tats for Tatas, which we do every single year. We raise money for breast cancer patients and research here in the Low Country and Coastal Empire. And I had told my listeners that if we had reached, I think it was like $6,000, that I would shave my head into a pink mohawk. Well, we surpassed that and we did 11,000 something, so I ended up with a pink mohawk. And then it was after that that another charity came along, and I said, oh well, I'll change my hair color for that too. And then it became the firefighter and the police, so I went red and blue, and the Savannah Children's Choir, so I went royal blue for that, and leukemia, so I went red, and it's just become this thing, for lack of a better word, that based on the charity or the group that I'm working with, the hair color and the mohawk goes. People have come to recognize, the fact that I keep my hair this certain way, and they know that, and people will come up to me on the street and they'll go, hey, what's that color stand for? And as I'm purple right now, I'm involved with helping Sergeant John Kane from the Savannah Chatham Metro Police. He's in the struggle of his life, and purple is the color for pancreatic cancer, so we did purple. And this woman, Liz, has been the only woman that touches my hair for the last 2 years, and she has done every single mohawk and every single color for every cause.
So yeah, the hair is a star of the Morning Showgram, all on its own.
Yes, that's it. Tune in every weekday morning to Bob 106.9 and listen to my hair on the radio.
And that's not all. You can hear Tim and me every Sunday on the 2020 Country Countdown.
This is a really cool show because we count down 2 top 20 country charts back to back. First, we count down the top 20 trending songs in country music, and then we count down the 20 biggest songs on country music radio stations nationwide.
I mean, we're kind of a big deal.
All right, step on down there, Trigger.
We've got some really awesome awards to prove it.
Savannah and Hilton Head's #1 for New Country, Bob 106.9. It's the Morning Showgram.
If you like country music, then you probably listen to Tim Leary weekday mornings on Bob 106.9. The Southern Scene loves to hang out with Tim and his team, Red and Claire, because they're so much fun.
Chris Hummer, okay, you've been with... Drew, you're rolling tape on this? Chris Hummer from WSAV is here shooting us because we're a cohesive team and friends, and we got chemistry and blah, blah, blah.
All of Tim's loyal listeners at Bob know how great he, Red, and Claire are, and now everyone knows.
The show was awarded the 2016 Country Radio Seminar Country Air Check Personality of the Year Award, Small Market, which means of all the small markets in the United States, industry voted. Tim Leary, The Morning Showgram, myself, Red, and Claire were nominated. And it sounds weird for me to say, but we came home with an award, and it was very cool.
It's an honor Tim and the gang are grateful for.
This show receives so much support from everybody in the industry, other air talents, programmers, record reps, artists themselves who voted. It was phenomenal. It was really humbling.
And they're thrilled to bring it home to the best fans on earth.
It's really cool. I mean, of all the markets, and I think, there's like 300 of them or more than 300, for us to bring this award, Personality of the Year, back to Savannah, Georgia is, it really is nothing but a tribute to the awesome listeners and fans that we have, because It's the listeners that tune us in every day. It's the listeners that show up to what we do, support what we do, whether it's a party, a concert, a charity function. And if our fans and listeners didn't tune us in every day, we wouldn't be able to do a fraction of what we do. So it's really, it's just a kudos to all of our listeners at Bob.
You know, one of the greatest things about being on the radio every day is playing a new song for the first time. And you know that song is going to be a hit, and you can't wait to share it with your listeners and your viewers.
Tonight, NBC has another great show called Game of Silence. It's a gritty drama about 5 friends with a secret that comes back to haunt them. Check it out.
There are lies we tell to make ourselves feel better about who we are, about what we're capable of. We all want to move on with our lives, to forget what happened to us. But the past is never the past.
Leave him alone. What you gonna do about it?
If it were, there would be no tragedy.
Don't y'all worry about the warden. He knows how we run things around here.
The premise of the story starts with a group of young kids, 13-year-olds, who share in one particular and horrific tragedy. After what happened, they were incarcerated in a juvenile detention facility.
We make a pact to never, ever speak of it, ever, to anyone. That no one will know what happened to us behind those prison walls.
Better stop crying. Do that inside and you're dead meat. 25 years later, their past shows up again.
Boots happens to run into one of our torturers on the street and something snaps.
How are you looking at?
Jackson, there's some people here to see you.
Jackson is about to make partner at his law firm. He's about to get married to a beautiful woman, and he hasn't seen these guys for 25 years.
Been a long time.
We need your help with something.
It's with Boots.
He got arrested this morning. He doesn't need just any lawyer. He needs you.
And when those boys come back into his life, it's when we start to see the ramifications of the past coming to the present.
How did this happen?
I'm gonna handle the warden. You and I have been together a long time. And you don't get to pick and choose when we're in business.
Our show is about loyalty and what that means.
Time for payback.
We're not having this conversation.
Take another step, and this life you built, it's torched.
You don't want revenge?
We're talking about committing a crime.
We're talking about justice!
As we say in the hood, they ride or die. No matter what, they're gonna be there for each other. And I love that about this story.
The plan's back on. Say we take the warden down, every son of a bitch that hurt us.
Darrell Williams died this morning. We found him on his kitchen floor with 3 bullet holes in his chest. Just wondering if you gentlemen might know anything about that.
Don't go away when the Southern Scene returns.
We hit the gym for a workout. The fitness experts at Train Me 24/7 show us how to take plain old push-ups to the next level. Don't go away.
It's time for the gun show.
Don't put that away.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Southern Scene here on WSAV and MyLC. Don't adjust your dial. Natalie has not turned into a funny, goofy-looking man with a mohawk.
Or a 5'2" woman with red hair. We're Tim Leary and Karen Daiss, better known as Red, from Bob 106.9's Tim Leary and the Morning Showgram.
Now, Natalie has a well-deserved day off, and we're filling in. Now, if you're a regular listener to the Showgram, you know that I like to run, because my mohawk pretty much changes color with every race I enter.
Fitness is a big part of Tim's life, and if it's a big part of yours, check out this great exercise from the fitness experts at Train Me 24/7.
And here at Train Me 24/7, we can do a few things for you. Main thing, push-ups seem very simple, very easy, but what you want to do, you don't want to always jump in, go head over heels. So I'll show you the proper ways to do a half body push-up if you're a beginner, intermediate, or want to be a little more advanced. We get down to the ground. Have both hands, both feet together. You want to lower your hips, elevate your head just slightly. If you're a beginner, you just want to tap, walk your feet and your hands to the side, and walk back in. And when you tap, make sure you take a deep breath, and back in. You want to do at least 5 to 10 reps as a beginner. More intermediate level, same setup, hands together, lower your hips, feet together. You want to walk out, and then push up. Breathe at the top, same thing, 5 to 10 repetitions each side. If you're more advanced, now you want to really spice it up. Both at the same time, want to jump, breathe, and jump back in. Jump, and back in. Remember, keep your head still, core tight, keep your hips down, and make sure to breathe. All right, now your workout's done. You've done all your push-ups, you advance each level. You want to make sure to hydrate and relax. When you hydrate, drink at least 1 bottle of water throughout your workout, and when you advance, take your time. It's a progression. You don't want to just go head over heels. You feel good about it, advance, 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 and then you'll feel great. If you have any questions at all, you can come see me at Train Me 24/7 and make sure to give us a call.
So Tim, how many of those half-body push-ups do you think we'll need to do to work off all those tacos we just had for lunch?
Well, my trainer said that I should stop working up because he doesn't want me to bulk up too much. It's like the gun show. It's over there! Everyone who snacks thinks a jog around Daffin Park should do the trick, but are they right? Check this out.
Most people have no idea how much work it takes to work off some of America's favorite snacks and beverages. How much time do you think you'd have to spend walking to burn off the calories in a couple slices of pizza?
Maybe 45 minutes.
Take a look. You'd have to walk about 1 hour and 23 minutes. You have to run 43 minutes. Surprised?
A little, yeah.
It's time to eliminate the guesswork, said a leading group of British scientists.
I think people are very shocked when they look at these amounts of calories and what it actually means for you physically. And I think what we want to prompt people to do is to think differently.
The researchers found, for instance, burning off the calories in a can of soda means 26 minutes walking, 13 running. A small pack of dry roasted peanuts, that's 54 minutes walking, 28 minutes running. That medium mocha coffee, 53 minutes walking and 28 minutes running. And a small iced cinnamon roll, you'll have to walk 1 hour and 17 minutes or run for 40. The study found more than half the people surveyed said this kind of labeling would change their behavior.
They understand pretty well what a minute of exercise is or an hour of exercise is. So in that sense, it's actually communicating much more clearly.
It would definitely change what I eat. Knowing what I have to do to work it off, absolutely.
Suggestions for labeling, some say, that are easier to digest than calorie count alone. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, New York.
From fitness to more food. Don't go away. When the Southern Scene returns, we're full of beans.
Did you say beans?
I did, I said beans.
Well, that's not, well, y'all better look out because our low country chef shows you her take on a Southern favorite. And I didn't even make a toot joke. We'll be right back on the Southern Scene. That's professionalism.
So professional.
I know.
Welcome back to the Southern Scene on WSAV and MyLC. Here's something you should know about Tim Leary and Red on the Bob 106.9 Morning Showgram. We love food.
Yes, we do. Please bring us some food. Our studio is at 401 Mall Boulevard, and we're there every morning at 5:30. And if you bring us food, we'll follow you anywhere, to your home.
It's true.
And that's not creepy.
The Southern Scene's Low Country chef Leslie Rowland from the Cottage Cafe in Bluffton shows us how she makes delicious baked beans.
Hi everyone, it's Leslie from the Cottage again, and I thought what would be nice would be to do a recipe that's great for outdoor barbecues, because this is the time of year, everyone's outside, the grills are on, everyone's cooking, and this recipe is a baked bean recipe, and it's called a sweet and smoky bourbon molasses maple baked beans. And then I put in some corn in there because I love corn. So if the recipe's a little long, but it's extremely easy. And the way we're gonna do it is we are gonna mix all of the liquid ingredients in this bowl, and then we're gonna add the beans in there, and then you're basically gonna put it into a crock pot, and you're going to basically set it and forget it. And you're gonna leave it there for say 5 hours and let it just bake and stew and get really, really thick. Now, if you wanna use dried beans, you will have to follow the package and you'll have to soak them and then boil them in water the next day. And you can certainly do that. The cooking time is a lot longer than if you're going to use canned beans. And I loved canned beans. Beans are one of my most favorite foods. And what I've decided to do today was I've decided to actually try 4 different types of beans in this recipe. So I've chosen kidney, black, pinto, and white. And I think you're gonna like this. So we're just gonna start. I'm gonna read the recipe as I'm doing it, and then, if you need any help with the recipe, you call me at the Cottage, okay, in downtown Bluffton. So we're gonna start off with some bacon. Gotta have beans with bacon. So you're gonna put your bacon right in the bowl. We're gonna do a cup of bourbon. You can use any kind of bourbon you want. I kind of think the more the merrier, but it's gonna call for 1 cup. And you're gonna go ahead and put all these liquid ingredients together. Oh yeah, oh, excuse me. Okay, then we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of molasses. If you can, try to get like a blackstrap molasses is fabulous, or any kind of molasses will do just fine. Next, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of mustard. You could use either Dijon or you could use yellow, it's just fine. Oh, excuse me. And then we're gonna add some maple syrup. And you're gonna do 1/2 cup of maple syrup. And when you mix the maple with the bourbon and the molasses, this is what gives it that smoky flavor, and this is what makes it really nice and thick and just perfect for a summer barbecue. And we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of brown sugar. That's gonna give it the sweetness that it needs. We're gonna do a little pinch of salt and pepper. And then finally, we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Now, if you would like to make this a little bit spicy, you may certainly add my favorite, fresh jalapenos. You could also use some crushed red peppers, either way. Okay, now, this is all your liquid ingredients. We're just gonna stir them up, and we're gonna get them ready to go. And you're just mixing, you're not trying to do anything crazy here. You're just trying to mix all the ingredients together. That's just fine right there. And now we're gonna add the beans and the corn. So I've got pinto beans, I've got white beans. These are kidney and black. Use whatever beans you like. You can never get enough beans in your diet, seriously. There's so many good things about beans in the health market nowadays. All right, so you're gonna mix everything up together. And then all you're gonna do is you're gonna pour it into your crock pot. And you're just gonna put the lid on it, and you're literally just gonna wait. About 5 hours. Now, if you find that the beans are maybe a little still too liquidy for you, you could take the lid off the crock pot and let some of that water evaporate, and they'll get really nice and thick. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook for a while, and while it does, if you have any questions about this recipe or any other recipe, or you just wanna call and say hi, I'm Leslie from the Cottage, downtown Bluffton. Thank you so much.
Now, summer isn't even here yet, and I have already got menus lined up from Memorial Day through Labor Day. It starts off with meat, it moves on to another meat, and it finishes with more meat.
Tim, let me ask you, are you a propane guy or are you a charcoal guy?
I don't care as long as it's flames.
Yeah, I know, you've almost burned your house down.
Only twice.
And the neighbors too. No matter how you like to grill, we've got the 411 on that age-old debate. Is it cheaper to refill or exchange that propane tank?
By the way, my neighbors dropped the charges.
When you're in the middle of a barbecue, you're not thinking about what it costs to cook. But when it comes to refilling your propane tank,
I don't pinch pennies, but I do watch the pennies, and I kind of hate to waste stuff.
that's why Elvira Moore dropped by Expo Propane to have her empty tanks filled up by hand. An empty 20-pound tank costs her around $9 to fill up.
It's easy, you drive in, they pick up your tank, they fill it up, and then you're gone.
But these days, fewer people are filling their propane tanks by hand. Instead, they're exchanging them.
Now, clearly, just trading in your propane tank is the easiest way to go. You can do it at grocery and hardware stores. But is it the cheapest way?
In his case, he did 5 tanks for the price of 1 exchange.
Serge Libiou cooks Belgian waffles at farmers markets. He says he couldn't make it if he had to exchange his tanks.
Because it's a lot cheaper. I mean, I cut my cost of propane by half, at least by half, by just coming here.
Most exchange locations we found charge $20 to swap out old tanks, and that doesn't take into account if there's any propane left in the tank.
There's no waiting, there's no minimum charge, you only pay for what you get. So if you're half full, you only pay for half that cylinder fill.
In this case, you pay $1.85 a gallon, but that price can vary depending on where you fill up. And as for your barbecue, tank exchanges will continue to be easy and popular, but for the price, a fill-up is cheaper.
One of the best things about this area is there's something going on every minute of every day, and the Southern Scene's cameras catch it all.
Let's check out today's scene of the day. Well, that's going to do it for the Southern Scene. Thank you guys so much for having us. We had a blast.
We did, and we're happy to tell you we'll be back the next time Natalie takes some time off.
Now, make sure you check us out every weekday morning starting at 5:30, the Morning Showgram on Bob 106.9.
And we'll see you soon right here on the Southern Scene.
Okay, let's wrap it up, people. Craft table's waiting. I'm kind of hungry. Let's go. Can I have a quiche?
Let's take a look at what's Sorry.
I can't work with this.
Wait. Sorry. I had to scratch my nose.
You have boogers.
I have boogers. Don't go away. When the Southern Scene returns, we're full of beans. 5:30.
I start at 5:30. Red starts at about 5:40.
Oh, for us? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
They say 3, 2, 1, and
She
then
was
you
looking
talk.
at us. Yeah, the hair is a star of Bob 106.9's Morning Showgram all on its own.
Yes, tune in every weekday and listen to my hair on the radio. Because I know, it's kind of hard to keep the gun show at home.
Oh my God.
Don't go away. Southern Scene is coming back. Yay! I read good English. You know what? Can we have a pop-up?